Another home tutorial on my home hairdressing. Today we're going to cut Alison's hair again. This time we're going to do it into a nice sleek bob. So she's volunteered to have all her hair cut off, haha. So yes, so just follow me and we'll get snipping. Okay, so what we're going to do is start off right at the back. So just pop that down and I'm just going to wet her hair. I'm just going to section it off actually. So we're going to section off her hair. So she's going to have like a bob that comes right down here and a little bit of graduation at the back there. And then I'll dry it all off and show you the end result. So first of all, we're going to start off with a parting down the middle at the back. Good start. That's a good start. Okay. So section it off into the middle. Just a very small section to start with. Pin that up out the way. Because this is going to be your first guideline. Okay, so we'll just put that through now. So if you can see there, it's going to wet that. Okay, so the first section, and make sure they're sitting, if this was a real client, you make sure they're sitting straight with their legs not crossed, because otherwise it will lose the balance. You'll lose the balance of it. You've got to be perfectly straight and still. Okay, so the first one, without any tension, just cut freehand, however long you want the base to be. So I'm going to cut it to about there without any elevation whatsoever. Okay. It's not as easy because it's not a real neck, but it's, yeah, this is for demonstration purposes only. I'm trying to keep it just a little bit longer at the sides there, and just coming through there. Okay, now I have to put the specs on. Okay, so the first section, and just check your sides are even there. Okay, and then just bring the first section down, the second section down, and keep it in the angle of the jaw. So you need to have, I'm going to go with the jaw line, which is right down here. We're going to just angle it all the way down with the bottom of the jaw. So it's probably down a little bit like that. Okay. The jaw line, so you're going downwards slightly. Now this section here, I'm just going to slightly lift it up, and I'm just going to bring it towards the middle a little bit as I do it, okay? So that's just going to give a very slight graduation. I'm going to keep the length at the side as long as I can, and I'm just going to trim that through there. Okay, so we've still got the length at the side here, and do the same this side. Okay. So the first section like that. Okay, now keep going all the way around. this one, I'm actually going to do it this way now. So we're going to bring it out that way, and we're going to point our fingers up, and however long you want the bob for, that's going to be where the top of the layer is. So you've got a short point there, and that's going to be your next short point, okay? So fingers straight up, and then just cut that point just there. So it looks like that. Okay, so drop that, and then you take the same point again, and you start to bring your hair into the middle. So you're keeping all the weight on the outside. So again, and then drop that down. Drop that down. And this way, like I said, you keep the bulk there. Okay. Drag it all into the middle. There's my short point, and there's my short point. Okay, and to cross check that, lift it up, and you're going to drag it all into the middle, like that. Okay, so that's the first one. You're going to have the graduation underneath, you're going to have the weight there, building up more weight at the side there. So it looks like that. Okay, so do the same on the other side. Probably easier this way because I'm standing this way. Instead of pointing down, I'm pointing up on this side. Using that guide there. And same again. Just checking that one over. Just keep checking the sides. I will just go back over that one. Try not to lift it out too much when you're cross-checking, because you might cut more than you should do. We don't want that. Okay. There's our long points, there's our short point, and there's the little bits in between. So you just work your way around doing the whole lot there. So I'll just go ahead with that. Taking another section. I'm taking about 1/4 inch sections all the way through. Same again. You need to aim it right out now because we're keeping all the length. So you have to actually create a new guideline just up here. But you're still using the guideline at the bottom as well. And you're still dragging it all into the middle. Same there. I haven't got a lot of room in this bedroom to move around, so I'm going to have to be, if I had more room, you would be moving around, so it's not so uncomfortable for your hands to be positioned that way. Okay. And drag all that. So, and to cross check again, every time you do one section, just cross check, just make sure we're getting the nice blunt bit we want. So just not much on there, and there's quite a lot of length here because we're keeping it longer here. Just cross check that. Okay, so that's starting to have that sort of look about it. Okay, do this side. Same again, pick the guideline from the other one, which is that bit there and that bit there. Just cut away. Keep their head still. Okay, we'll just check that again. And we'll be checking both sides. Make sure they're even there. Okay. So you can see how it's starting to sit on there, which is nice. Now the next section, I'm going to do slightly different. I'll use these clips a bit more stronger, these ones. Now we've got the where we want the bob to sit, we're going to cut it straight out this time, because otherwise I'm going to start going too high up, and that's not the idea of it. So instead of going in the side by side, I'm just going to take a section from the middle. I'm going to just start to lift that up there. Okay, so you've got a little guideline from underneath. You're going to use that one. Lift your hair out slightly. I put my, I can show you, I put my little finger on the nape, and that way we'll secure, that way you've got the tension in the right spot to cut that little bit. And you're going to cut that one straight across this time. Okay, then you can separate it, and you're going to start over directing the hair like that. Okay, so you point there from this side, and you just cut the middle bit there. Over direct, put your little finger on the nape, and there still is your longest point. So that sits like that. This way we got the long bit there. The same on this side. Put your finger underneath just to secure a tension there. You can see that bit there. Cut away. And the same here. Okay, so checking it again, and it's looking nice so far. So you can see how that's sitting at the moment at the back. It looks really nice. You've got all the weight at the sides here. Okay, so that's how far we've got. So we'll do another section down like that, then we'll work on the sides. Okay, so it'll be the same technique, right to the crown and right above the ears. That's my next section. So it will look like that, the next section, okay? If someone could do my hair like this. I have cut my own hair, like the styles you've seen me wearing. I've cut it from like quite a short bob, and it's actually grown long now. Okay, so here we go again, and we'll do the same thing again. Take the middle section first. You've still got a lot of hair because she's got long layers, so we're still working through it. And again, put your finger there, get the tension there, and cut that middle section first. Split it in half, and then start to over direct the rest of it, following a guideline underneath. Keep your head still. following the guideline underneath, okay? I have to just turn this thing up. Okay. And again, oh, this is not tight enough. And again, you pull it all the way back to the centre part. And you've got a guideline here and one here. Drag it all the way across. Okay. So we're looking like that so far. It's got a nice bit of graduation underneath. I like that because I can just chip into it if I need to. And the bulk of it is like this so far. So we've got the nice bob bit. From the side, we're kind of looking like that. So we'll go to the side, and I'm going to take a small section to start with, right here, and part of the back as well. And okay, now again we want to keep quite a lot of the length because you're having one of those bobs that go straight down at the front. So you need them to tilt the head slightly over. Above the ears, obviously not much tension because the whole thing is going to spring up if you pull too tightly on there. So however long you want the sides, this is how you would angle your fingers. So we want quite a dramatic look, so we will just very, very lightly hold the hair. Not much tension at all. Angle the finger wherever you want your long bit to be and just match up with the side of the back there. And the same front there. Again, you can go even longer. So we're going to go even longer. And that's the point there of her original layers when I did the face framing. Now I'm going to use that as the shortest point. So I'm going to cut that lot off there. So there's our bob section there, okay? And follow that all the way up to where her parting is going to be. And in this doll, she parts on the side there, so I'm going to just keep going with that. Still take a bit of hair from the other section at the back there, just so you can keep your guideline. Okay. Again, just lifting it up slightly, just to get your guideline really. Or you can, no, we'll do it that way, yeah, to get your guideline. Okay. And follow underneath. There's my guideline on this bit here. And same with the front there, just a little bit there. Okay. Just continue around. You'll still find some long bits because it's from the previous haircut. You can scoop a bit underneath just to make sure you're gathering all the hair. Angle down. Find your two guidelines, one at the front, one at the back. And running out of hair because we don't have much left at the front. Okay, so it should start to look like that for you. And again, the less hair you've got the side, obviously you're not going to be cutting off. She's still got a little bit of layering from that previous hairstyle at the top there, but the guideline is going to be there. And she's still got the short face frame, but the rest of it will still be a bob. making sure I'm connecting the right parts to it. Okay. There we go. So now I've got all that layer here. I'm just going to check they're all okay, just all the way down, and we won't worry about that very front bit because that was already short and I couldn't really go any shorter than that for this bob, but that would be a nice flick around when I blow dry it. So it's still looking like a really nice bob. Okay, and to the other side again, same again, just match up the top with the back. Okay. So, a very small section to start with. And again, with the ear, just not as much tension on the ear there. And slightly drag it back so you don't lose any of the length. You're still going to have to cut a bit to make a new guideline, but you're just going to pull that back a little bit there. Okay, then we're going to match up the whole thing. And there's the guideline for the other bit, and there's that bit there, okay? So again, just that bit there. Should try and keep my sections quite neat so I don't get lost in my hairstyle. You still use a little bit from the back there. I normally just start here. Keep dragging it backwards a little bit to keep the length. It might sound like I'm repeating myself, but just in case you missed that part before. Okay, all the way back. You should have that sort of look there. Now her natural part is like that anyway, so I think the amount of hair I've got there, I can just use that last section and head over that way. Again. A little bit more on that side. I find hair cutting very therapeutic when you cut the when you're cutting the hair. It's just something very soothing about it. I love cutting bobs, that's my favourite. Okay, so let's have a look in the mirror and see what's going on. That's a really long bob at the front there, but that's okay because oh my God. But it's going to have quite a nice there. I mean, you can even take that shorter and match up. You can even go shorter and match up the short bits there, which would take away a big chunk of it. So if you wanted to, you could go that short there. But I think what we'll do, I'll go ahead and keep your head still. Just tuck it a bit there. Yeah, and then just obviously check the front bit's the same, and yeah, so all around it looks like that. So we'll blow dry that. I'm not going to chip into it or do anything like that. This is just a sleek little bob, Okay, but you can go back in underneath and just sort of just cut into that little bit too. Alright, so I'll let you know the finished result. How it's stalling, and then we'll just go in and just chip into it and just finish it off. So all I'm doing is using a big brush, and I'm just doing it underneath. You can see that there. Just go down, just do like that. Okay, so I've blow dried her hair and I've straightened her hair, and I'm just going to go and check the underneath, just check the bob and just take off any little loose strands. Okay, which will be a few, but anyways, just tidy it around like that. A couple of little strands just there. And then you just check underneath, and you can just take off any bits around the neckline just on here. Okay, just freely cut them really gently. Okay, and you can see that nice little the layering underneath there. The other side looks like that, and you can see how I'll bring the doll up to you. You can see how the elevation is because the way I cut it down like that, and she's got a long side bit there, and a long side bit there. So, and then I'll show you the final result. And the final result is, if you can see in the mirror there, I'll just flip that across. I'll just spray her fringe because she's still got a bit of a fringe, and again, otherwise you'll just take too much off. If you cut where the fringe was, you'll just take too much off. So a nice bob, absolutely no cutting into it or anything like that. And I'll just show you the end result. So there she is with her new bob. And yep, like I said, quite dramatic. If you can put it behind her ears, you could see the look like that as well. Okay, put my glasses off. Yeah, it's nice. Really pleased with it. So yeah, that's how you can get a nice little bob by the way I've layered the hair. Okay, we all have different, us hairdressers all have different techniques how we do this sort of these sort of bobs, but you know, I've just shown you a fairly easy way. So yeah, so I think what I can do with her next time now. But yeah, I hope you got something out of this, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.